Welcome back to the MäksēLife YouTube channel. I am so happy that you are here. I am Andrea, Community Connection and Creative Systems Coach and Certified Life Coach in Club Mäksē. This is my 4th year in the Reflections Notebook, and this is my 6th year in the MäksēLife Planner. So I would encourage you to grab your 2025 Reflections Notebook and work along with me and pause this video when you need to. If you don't have this book, go grab a journal or a notebook and do these reflections questions with me. This is going to make such a huge difference in reflecting on how this past year went and how you want this next year to go for you. I have been in this, like I said, this will be my 4th year. So I just want to show you a little bit in here. This is from 2022, and this is my year in review. So this is my reflections from the year 2022, and this was one of my best years. This was my first year, my first full year in Club Mäksē, and this year I really went really hardcore into like my growth mindset and just doing everything that I needed for myself. So you can see my health score jumped from a 6 to a 9, which like I had so much energy. It was amazing. So this is probably my favorite year that I've had so far in my life. I also have the 2023 reflections. So here is what that looked like for this year. My score, it technically decreased, but it's pretty much about the same. So my health ended up going down this year because of a new autoimmune diseases and some other things that ended up happening. I was sick from June through the end of the year, so that was absolutely not fun. But I was able to, keep a lot of my other scores a little bit higher and work on me. And I would say that is really because of Club Mäksē and just being in this system and doing reflections and knowing what I need. So the last one before we get into 2025, this is the 2024 reflections book. And again, it's about the same. I was working really hard on myself in 2024, and I set up a lot of boundaries, which was just absolutely amazing and what I needed. Fun and environment was the one that I really wanted to work on for this next year. So I'm excited to show you for the 2025 reflections, kind of how that worked out for me. So let's go through that. I have my annual goals toolkit because I'm going to be using some of this in this reflections notebook. So this is something I would encourage getting. There are some amazing prompts and information in here to really get you thinking about what you need. So the first thing I always do is I put my name in here. So I'm Andrea, but I also go by Annie. Probably half of the people I know call me Annie. So I go either way for either name. I love them both. So there's a little note from Sierra at first. And I want to talk a little bit about my 2025 year in review. So this is the start of 2025. And so if you've already been in the Mäksē system, what you can do is you can take your planner, and I've got mine from this past year, and I just took these compass numbers from the very start of 2025, and I inputted that into here, and then I updated this over here. So when you're doing this, you can use, if you have your Mäksē, we've got the assessment scoring in here, and you can use these prompts here to see if it's something that you're doing well, or if it's something you want to improve, or you can just use whatever number you feel like you are for each area. So we're going to compare. So the area of life that increased the most for me was fun and recreation. And I had just said for 2024, my big goal was to really increase my fun and rec. So I was at a 5 at the beginning of the year, and now I am at an 8. We spent so much time doing fun things as a family, doing lots of adventures. We welcomed an exchange student in September. Actually, it was August. We welcomed our exchange student in August, and she's going to be with us until June. And we wrote down a huge bucket list, and we wanted to make sure that we explored our state as a family. And there were so many things that I had been wanting to do with the kids that we just never got to. You know, I always said, oh, we'll do it later. We'll do it when it's a better time for us. And oh my goodness, having that bucket list was absolutely amazing. And I'm so glad that we did it. For the area that decreased the most was health and wellness. This was another year like 2023 where I had a lot of autoimmune issues. So I am not mad that I'm at a 5. It just is what it is. And then you'll see as we get into the rest of this, kind of what I plan to do about that in 2026. So if you are going to pause your video with me while we're working on this, this would be a great time to pause it and figure out what your scores are. If this is the first year that you're in a MäksēLife planner, don't worry about the start of 2025. Just put your current in there, and then we can go ahead and the next year you'll be able to get these comparisons. Also in the planners, we do have quarterly compass assessments. So this number right here is going to be what you compare your first quarterly assessment to. So this will be very, very helpful. All right, so let's go into the reflections for the rest of the book. So this page is always fun to do. I love finding words to describe how the year went and so on. So this year, I was like, oh my gosh, adventure for sure. We did so many fun things as a family, and we just, it was probably one of my favorite years, even though my health has not been great. Growth, health struggles, and you know what? It's fine. Like, this is not a negative thing. This is not bad. Health struggles, it is what it is, and I am going to make some changes. So it's really giving you information that you can use to figure out how you want to change, how you want to stay the same, how you want to improve for the next year. 3 words that describe how I felt in 2025: proud, grateful, and a full heart. Now, if you are the kind of person where you really are not sure about what words describe how you felt in 2025, you could, if you have a chat GPT or a chat AI, or you could talk to your, a loved one or a good friend and just kind of talk things out. And sometimes when you're talking through things, you'll really begin to notice a pattern, and you think, oh my gosh, that's right. This is exactly the word that I would use to describe. And sometimes we're so focused on ourselves that someone we love that knows us really well on the outside can kind of see things a little bit better. So you can always do that as well. I want to feel peaceful. I want to feel grounded, and I want to feel energetic. I'm super excited to continue exploring the United States with my family and exchange student. So my focus is, like I said, fun and rec for 2026, health, and then personal. So what am I saying no to? Self-doubt. I am not going to doubt myself. I know I have proven to myself, to other people, all of the amazing things that I can do, that I can be. And I am not going to let that creep into my mind anymore. I'm going to do reflections. It's not going to be a self-doubt year. I am not going to say shoulds. I am not going to say, oh, I probably should go and do this XYZ, whatever. If I will know if I feel like I should do something or not. Now, of course, there's always things that we have to do, like paying taxes. If it's something that is optional and I feel like I should do it, but it doesn't excite me, then I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to worry about things that I can't do anything about, and no more doom scrolling. So I'm going to take all those apps off of my phone, and then I can go to my computer or some other way to get to that stuff. So I'm going to say yes to adventure, to hydration. I really need to get more water in. To cuddles and playtime. I don't want to tell my kids just a second anymore unless I absolutely have to. I want to not only be joyful, but I want to search for joy. I want to go looking for joy. I want to do whatever I can to bring it into my life so I can spread it to other people. And then also telling people when I'm thinking of them. This year I've said, when I'm thinking about someone and I haven't talked to them for a little bit, I'm just going to send them a text and say, hey, I just wanted to let you know that I was thinking about you and I hope you're doing well. All right, we'll round out this pretty quickly. So what personal needs of mine will I prioritize in the coming year? Solo time, I need that very badly. I'm doing better this year though. Rest, I've done a good job with rest this year because I needed to, and I want to keep that top of mind. I want to do more deep breathing, and I want to get more massages. Okay, so for this top 5 values going into 2026, we're going to use our annual goals toolkit to help with this. So these are the top 5 values that I had come up with for 2026. So peace, creativity, trust, health, and curiosity. And so we're going to take this. This is the annual goals toolkit. And Sierra just really put her heart and soul into this and made sure that she designed these worksheets that will really support you with your life. Okay, so here are my personal values page. And right here, it says, visit the following site to take your values assessment, www.personalvalue.es. So I actually did go to this again, even though I've taken it many times, to see, maybe things are a little bit different this year. And it's true. I have different values this year that I needed to really put a lot of my energy into. So the top one was peace. I really want to be peaceful this year. I don't want to be worried. I don't want to be stressed. So I want to protect my inner calm, and I want to choose responses that keep me grounded instead of getting anxious when I don't need to, or, just getting a little bit too frustrated with something that I probably shouldn't get as frustrated about. So definitely peace. Creativity, I want to allow myself to play more, explore more, and really be me without the pressure to be perfect. I am doing my life for me. And sometimes I forget that it's not for other people. It's not what other people think that I should be doing, or, any of that stuff. So I want to do it for me, and I don't need to be perfect. For trust, believing in myself, my intuition, the path that I'm on, and really leaning into security, I want to fully trust everything about myself this year. Health, caring for my body and my mind, and listening to my needs and honoring my limits. So the rest that I had put in there before, I really want to make sure that I'm resting before I get sick, before it's too bad. And curiosity. This is, this makes my life go round. I love to research new things, to figure out new things, to figure out why I'm feeling a certain way, or figure out, how I can do something differently. Approaching life with wonder, exploring without judgment, and growing. That is totally me. All right, so let's move on to the rest. I won't take as much time with the other pages. This one just had so many different questions to go through, and I really wanted to spend time in how I found my answers for these. So this next page is going to be the wins and the highlights. And for my wins, how did I figure them out? So a lot of them were easy, weekly family game nights, resting my body when needed, decluttering the whole house this summer was absolutely amazing. Organizing my seasonal decorations, installing new flooring on our main level all by myself. Whew, that was fun and a lot. But I first write down what I remembered. And then if you can't think of anything else, you can always go through your pictures in your phone, go through your favorites, go through your calendar, go through your planner, see what wins you had. So that's another amazing thing about doing the reflections is you can say, oh, what were my wins? Let me just go back and look at a couple weeks and write those down. So I finished my life coaching certification. I almost forgot that one. I don't know how. That was such a huge thing in my life. So that was really excited. And then I got a MäksēLife promotion, which I'm so proud of. I'm the community engagement and creative systems coach. But this last one, I wanted to point this out. This is a win. And I know some people might go, you only accomplished a little bit over 60% of your annual goals. That's your win? Absolutely, that's my win. There were some that I set in late December, early January that did not serve summer me. So January me to June me or July me, not the same person. So I cross those out. I give you permission right now, cross out goals that no longer serve you. This is for you. This is not going to be something that you show to someone. You don't have to have a review with another person. This is just you. This is you and yourself. So cross it out. You know what? And if some of them just aren't going to happen, that's fine. I'm really happy I accomplished over 60% of my annual goals. A lot of them I didn't get to, and I'm okay with that. I will find a way to, if it's still something that's important to me, to maybe break it down to smaller chunks so that I can maybe accomplish that in the next year. Same thing for highlights. I wrote down the things that were very top of mind. And, family vacation in Hawaii, we saved up. We did a great job with our budget and we saved up. We got to take the kids to Hawaii. We went paddleboarding all summer. My promotion, I sent the most beautiful sunshine boxes at work to my peers, and it was just so well received. And my heart was so full when everyone started replying to that. In attempt to get my Fun and Rec score up, I booked Jim Gaffigan tickets for me and my husband. I booked Nate Bargatze tickets for my husband. And so we did so many other things, but those were really the big highlights. And then I forgot about this one. I didn't even put a dot on there, but we saw the Northern Lights multiple times this year, and it has been just absolutely a highlight that I can't even tell you. And then I just want to say too, all of these dots over here, this is all used with our Mäksē dots. They are all perfectly in the colors of each of the areas of life. And it is just, I need color in my life. And so I've got the Mäksē markers over here, which came out first, and then we got these dots. And they all have the area of life on there. So work and learning, spiritual and personal growth. And it is just amazing to be able to use this. And especially even in my planner, I will color code all of that. So that's just a little break, telling you what I used and how amazing they are. The colors are just so gorgeous and vivid. Okay, so that's highlights. The next page is challenges and lessons. And, for challenges, I went with my top 3. So I got what it is and then kind of like how did I overcome them. So it says, what were the most significant challenges I faced and how did I overcome them? So my autoimmune flare-up that lasted months and is really truthfully still going on, exhaustion, joint pain, brain fog, cold intolerances. And I put, now have I overcome it? Or excuse me, have I overcame it yet? No, I absolutely haven't, but I'm getting there. I'm getting better. I'm leaning into resting when my body needs it. I told my leader about it and that, I would like to take maybe up to 60-minute lunch so I can just use that to nap. And then I'll just eat something right after, something simple, so I can recharge. He was all about that. It's so great when you have a great leader. And I let my husband know if I needed to go to bed early, and I delegated chores to my family. I mean, that's a huge win there. I actually I'm going to go back and I'm going to add that here because my goodness, that was a huge win. Balancing a 50 to 60 hour work week while I'm sick. That was a challenge. I can't even tell you. But you know what? It was a great challenge because I just love my family. I absolutely love the family that we're becoming and the communication that we have. So I just put, I gave more chores to my kids, and I talked to my kids. This is how mommy is feeling right now, and I really need your help. And they were happy to step up. Not in all areas. No, they didn't want to do the dishes, but they, with our communication getting better, they knew how important it was to help me. Also, my husband got me a Skylight digital calendar, and that really helped. And then anxiety, and I think that has a lot to do with my flare-up. But I just remind myself, you know what? I'm doing my best. I am doing my absolute best. That is all I can ask for. So for lessons, health issues taught me to rest before I get sick and learn how to listen to my body. I did a lot of decluttering, and that really helped me know I don't need to buy all these things. It's experiences that are the most important. I learned how important communication is with my family and my friends, people I really, really love. And I learned that doing a quick 5 to 15 minute power appointment to tidy really makes a difference, and it really helps lower my stress. And you guys, anybody can do 5 minutes, right? All right. So for growth and gratitude, for growth, I really like to write sentences because I want to explain how I've grown. So I use this page, and I just started writing. And I just, I had a lot of challenges, and my past mindset, this would have broken me, all this stuff. And I would have been like, oh, poor me. It's not fair, all this other stuff. But wow, it made me so much stronger. I learned how to delegate. I learned what is really important. I learned that it's okay if my house isn't looking like a museum. And if someone truly loves me and comes over and sees my house like that, they're going to already know that I'm not feeling great, and they're not going to hold that against me. It just made me so much stronger. I was vulnerable with people and let them know that I wasn't feeling good. I delegated tasks. I said no when I didn't want to do something, or I just didn't have the capacity physically or mentally, and I didn't feel guilty. And I really started to live for myself and my family. I prioritized a happy and healthy self and family over shoulds or guilt trips. And let me tell you, this is really helping me to be free. For this gratitude page, you can write sentences or you can do bullet points. I decided to do bullet points, but I indented them because I put a little bit more. So making memories with my family, and I wrote like specific things, like what I really love about being with my family, what I really love about being married to my best friend. And then I'm just so grateful for the support that I get and give in MäksēLife and Club Mäksē. Man, this is absolutely the best community I've ever been a part of. And we are so, so lucky to have each other. And then my health. You might say, Andrea, why are you grateful for your health? You said it was awful. It is awful. I am very fatigued. There's a lot going on. But you know what? I'm waking up every day. You know what? I get to walk down the stairs. I have previously broken my back and not been able to walk for months at a time. And I really have looked at so many things differently. I put each day that I'm alive is such a wonderful blessing. Okay, so let's go to, we've got a couple more pages after this. What's working? Making my bed first thing in the morning. Oh my goodness, I started this like 2 years ago, and it helps me set the tone for the whole day. There's a book called like Make Your Bed something. I can't remember what it is, but I read that. Holy moly, it really is true. The minute you get out of bed, you just make your bed and then you go and do other things in your day, it really sets the tone. So you just really want to think about like, what is really working well in my life? What are the things that either day to day or week to week is really making a positive impact and helping me to do the things that I want to do or feel the way that I want to feel? Like I said before, doing the 5 to 15 minute power appointments, oh my gosh, it is just amazing. strengthening the communication between my family, choosing experiences over things. Doing weekly reflections is a game changer. When I first started in Moxie, I think it took me about 2 years to actually do the weekly reflections. I thought, well, I already know, what I did that I enjoyed and what I didn't do well. But actually physically writing them down and then finding adjustments has absolutely been just such a game changer. What is not working, just being constantly fatigued, a heavy mental load. Like I said before, my husband got me that skylight calendar, and now I don't have to know what the kids are going to have for lunch at school because it's on there and they just go straight to that calendar. They don't have to ask me, what time is karate, Mom? They just go straight to that calendar. So my thing that I want to do next year is, how can I find more tasks to get out of my brain and put into that calendar? I could list a million things, but these are the ones that make the biggest impact in my life. So those are the ones that I want to really focus on for impact. Now, when I did this page, I did have to use my ChatGPT. It says, how do I want people to experience me in the coming year? In what ways do I want to create an impact in the lives of my loved ones or the world at large? So, I have a good idea. I want to inspire people by living the life that I want to live. I want people to see me and go, I really want what she is exuding. I like her energy, her joy, her peace. I really want that. And how can I figure out how to go after that myself? And I also want to make people realize how amazing they truly are. And being a life coach, being the community engagement coach for MäksēLife, it's going to be such a great way for me to be able to impact people. So I want people to feel comfortable, peaceful, and joyful when they're around me, physically or virtually. I want to radiate joy. I want to inspire. I want to love, and I want people to feel peace in my presence, physically or virtually. I want to model the growth mindset. Now, am I going to be 100% growth mindset all the time? No, absolutely not. I'm going to slip, but I'm going to bring myself right back. I want to model emotional intelligence, and I want to provide unconditional love for my husband and my children. Now, I am a flawed human being, and this stuff might slip a little bit. I might not be very joyful, but I will always work my way back to where I need to be. I want my kids to remember a mom who was joyful and created her own joy every day. I might write a little bit more on here, but those were the things that came to mind right away. And then for adjustments, advocate for my health. So going back again to, what's not working. Advocate for my health, declutter emotional baggage. Now that I've decluttered my physical baggage, I really want to declutter emotional baggage, things that just isn't serving me. Prioritize weekly me time. I really need to get better at that. I'm pretty good about putting on my oxygen mask, metaphorically, before helping others, but I can get better at it. And I really think that is going to make a big difference in my life. Ask for help more often. I'm so bad at asking for help, but I'm getting better. Slow down and do nothing without guilt. Oh, goodness. I need this. Now, again, I might write more because I'm still going through this, but that is what I have for now. So for the adjustments page, go to what's not working and see how you can take that stuff and you can bring it over here. And you know what? You might need to do adjustments multiple times a year. You might have to do them quarterly. This is your life. Keep changing until you get it right? Okay, so for this letter to me page, this is terribly personal. So I did not fill this out for you to see. But I want you to know that you can sit down for 10 minutes, for 30 minutes, however long you think that it needs to go, and write a letter to your future self. Then there's also a couple more pages back here, and these pages are intended to use for whatever you want. If you want to use it for brain dump, for your reflections. If you even like, you don't know what to write for some of these, you can write it all back here and then cross the ones out that don't make sense and then use that. And I am going to use this for all the words of the year that I am thinking about using. I will write down everything I think might possibly work. And then every day I'll look at it again and I'll just start crossing. You know what? I don't think I want that to be. I don't think I want that one to be. And so I kind of whittle it down until I find something that really gives me passion. I hope you did this with me. I hope you got a lot of really wonderful ideas about how you can fill this out yourself and not get stuck. If you have any questions, please add them below. Either myself or another member of Team Moxie will reply to you. Like, where are you stuck? Let us help you. Do you need us to help you come up with prompts? Ask those questions. Tell me, is there anything that you do differently that works really well for you? Write that down there. And then we can help inspire each other. That is so, that is the whole point of this community. It is such a wonderful, wonderful place to be.